When will I be good enough to be all I wanna be? When will I be good enough to live my life and be free? When will I dance till the morning lights up my day?
For people that maybe have never experienced chiropractic work, can you explain how it works? I mean, I've experienced from my very early trauma and feeling a real freeing of my energy in my body because of the trauma. I was living pretty much in my head and detached from my body, and I was sort of segmented. So for me, it's given me a wonderful realignment of energy, been able to allow energy to flow through my body and feel very grounded and a lot less in my head and a lot more in my body, which I understand with abuse and sexual abuse is quite common, that sort of separation from the body and segmentation of the body. So how would you describe chiropractic work to a person that's never experienced it before?
Chiropractic can be simple or complicated, but basically we're working with the central nervous system via the physical body. The intention of all chiropractors, there's hundreds of chiropractic techniques out there, but the intention is to remove stress from the body, so primarily from the nervous system, which will then lead the connection between the central nervous system and the cells in the systems to work better. So the stress can be from physical sort of trauma to the body, emotional trauma, or chemical trauma. So, you know, if you think about the emotional trauma can be just things that happen that we respond emotionally to. Physical trauma is directly to the body, and chemical trauma can be if people are having allergies or they're not digesting their food properly or they're putting things into their body that isn't good for them. So it's in some way it's causing stress in their body. So, you know, a lot of us look at that as the triad of health. So the structure, emotion and the physical biochemistry of the body. So removing stress from that so everything can work better. Yeah,
so if someone said, say, we're talking about the early childhood experience and how impactful that is on us as adults.
Correct.
You know, what happened to us even in the womb and the first sort of, critically, first 2 years of life and then up to the first 7-8 years of life. And we talked about Alan Shaw, who we've interviewed, and his work is groundbreaking in this area and how the brain changes through those early traumas. Would you say, you know, from the emotional, say, abuse side of that a parent saying something to a child such as, you'll never amount to anything, or
you're naughty.
Yes, can impact on the body?
Oh, absolutely. Because you think about, number one, those words and then how the child feels because of that, which will set up a whole heap of chemistry in the body, and then perhaps a physical response to that. It could be like even just shrugging the shoulders. So then when they go to work 20 years later and they're sitting there in front of the computer physically, it can then trigger the emotions and the chemistry of that event.
So with people that have experienced, say, emotional trauma, we're talking about now, and they come for a treatment with you, they don't necessarily have to access any memories of a situation.
No.
But the physical work, you know, on the table will begin to free energy within them?
Absolutely. Again, because of the interlinking between our structure, our emotions and our chemistry, if we impact the structure, that will change the emotions and the chemistry. Or if we impact the chemistry, that will change the emotions and the structure. Or if we impact the emotions, that will change the biochemistry and the structure. So the way I see my job is to try and work out what the major stress is it structure, chemistry, or their emotions, and then work with that predominantly and bring in the other things to just help it along. So, but with NET particularly, you don't have to actually remember, because you can imagine. And as soon as you imagine, I mean, we all know that sometimes we can have a dream and wake up and it will feel really real, because we have all the chemistry in our body surging around with those real emotions as if it were real. So with NET, you don't even have to remember. You can just imagine, or you can just think about that emotion, and it will start to flow the chemistry through the body so you can actually make the spinal correction with that, holding that space.